Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the GCC 6 open workout session. Today I will be detailing my thoughts, my opinions on some of the fighters' training camps heading into GCC 6 on Friday night. This is going to be an audio format. I have added some audio notes to my audio diary, and I will be piecing that together in a little presentation on how our amazing fighters' camps went. So I hope you enjoy. Kyle Young will be making his GCC debut in the opening fight against Juan Carlos at GCC 6. He is the father of Jade and Leon Young, so it's going to be interesting to see how his style contrasts from his children. He isn't training with either of his children yet. He notably had a great camp coming out of the global training facility. He's prepared. He's in great shape. He's ready to go, 3 rounds if need be, and we'll see how this one turns out. Vishis Vourture will be stepping back into the cage after a very successful debut against Dante Cortez, where we've seen him knock out Dante within the first round with a spinning back fist and one knockout of the night. Vishis Vourture is well trained. He's in great shape. He had a great camp out of Gunplay MMA, and he's looking to take it to Finn McGowan early on. He's going to want to stay aggressive. He's going to push forward. Every punch he throws is to knock Finn out. He does not think that Finn belongs in the cage with him, and he's looking to make quick work out of him. It's going to be an interesting matchup, and we'll see if Vicious can live up to his name. I also got a chance to catch up with JaYson Francis, who is Vicious's training partner out of Gunplay MMA. JaYson Francis is seen as the leader of Gunplay MMA, and he really wants to step up his game. We've seen Trixie had some success. We've seen Vicious with some success early on, and JaYson as the leader really wants to put his camp on the map. He hasn't been pleased with his first 2 performances. He feels like both of those fights are fights he sort of finished. So he's coming out with a chip on his shoulder. He's going to want to not just beat Robbie Nitro. He wants to be the first one to knock out Robbie Nitro. He wants to put him in a world of hurt, and he wants to make a statement. Akane Ito will be making her debut at GCC 6 against Rachel Spruce. Now, Akane is training out of TW Combat Sports. I think that she's going to need some time to really get acclimated to her new environment, her new training partners. Based on what I understand, her camp didn't quite come together the way that I think everybody would expect it, including herself. That said, she still has a lot to prove against Rachel Spruce. She's going to want to take this fight down to the ground, and she's capable of doing that. I do think that with TW Combat Sports in her corner, they will give her the correct advice, and I think she'll be able to. Rachel Spruce will be making her bantamweight debut on Friday night against Akane Ito. She recently joined the Lone Wolf MMA camp. Great camp. However, rumor has it she didn't make the most of her opportunity there. She seemed to struggle, isn't in the best of shape, and really did not live up to the expectations I think she set for herself and set by her camp. So we'll see how that affects her on Friday night, and whether or not the corner advice given by Lone Wolf MMA will be enough to compensate for the lack of training and really the lack of preparation. Next up, we have Kiiara. She has been training out of the global training facility. Her camp went pretty good. It was an average camp for the most part, nothing special. She's coming in with a straightforward game plan. She wants to be aggressive and end the fight as quick as possible. She wants to keep this fight standing, especially considering who she's up against. So she's looking to, make a get in and get out, get her money, and move on to the next round. Her stamina, her conditioning, it's decent. She's going to want to finish this fight early. I think the longer that this fight goes, If it goes to the third round, I think that's going to favor her opponent. Now, she's going to be going up against Little Miss Dizzy. I'm not even going to try to pronounce her first and last name, but Little Miss Dizzy also trained out of the global training facility. And I think this is a tale of two camps with varying levels of success. I know that Little Miss Dizzy is in great, amazing shape, well conditioned. I think of everybody's camps, her camp was probably the most effective in preparing her for the fight. Surprisingly, I think she will want to move to a bigger camp just for that corner advice. Having some legitimate fighters in her corner, I think, would help her. But she's ready, and she has a game plan. She's going to want to take this fight to the ground. We have a classic grappler versus striker bout. So as long as the fight hits the mat, I think she has an extreme advantage. She has the stamina and the drive and the determination to pull this one off. Cinzia Rossi is another fighter training out of the global training facility. She's going to be matched up against Kelsey Moreau. Now, Cinzia Rossi had an average camp out of the global training facility. I would, again, like to see her find a team. I think with the right guidance, with the right game plan, she's very, capable of making waves in this division. Her stamina, her shape, I would say is average. I don't think she had as strong as a camp as she was anticipating, and that's why I think it's vital for her to make a move to one of the bigger camps so that, at the very least, she gets the advice and guidance and direction needed to develop her game. Now we have Sammie Ward training out of the TW Combat Sports, led by Jay Williams. Jay Williams is a mastermind. I mean, always has a great game plan for his fighters. That includes Sammie Ward, who also has massive support from the whole camp, being the younger sister of Tommy Ward. Tommy has handled most of the press, dealings with the press. Everybody's really chipped in to support Sammie, and she's ready to go. She's been working on her takedown defense. She's wanting to keep this fight standing. She knows how much of a threat Feloni DeMeans is on the ground, and she's well prepared, to handle her business. So we'll see how this fight breaks down. I'm looking forward to it. Now, switching things over to another set of siblings, we have Feloni DeMeans making her debut. She is the older sister of Misty DeMeans. She trains out of the Highlight FC camp in Toronto. While Misty has been critical of her work ethic inside the gym, criticizing her for taking too many off days, I did get a chance to see her at the open workouts, and she is in great shape. She is well prepared. I don't think stamina is going to be an issue at all. She's a very dangerous BJJ specialist, and although she's been out of the game for a long time, you never really lose that skill. It's like riding a bike. So I think it's going to be a great fight. It's going to be a lot closer than I think many people expect. This one is really going to set the tone for the rest of this division. GCC is a family business. Next up, we have Rupika Khan, who is the granddaughter of the granddaddy of the GCC, Faizon Khan. She's going to be returning to the octagon after a controversial loss against Misty DeMeans, where the fight was stopped in the 5th round with less than 17 seconds by the doctor. I know Rupika's hungry to get back into the octagon and get a win under her name. She's went through bouts of depression, sadness, anger. She's been through it all. After the result of her last fight, she's determined, man. She's been working hard. She's been rolling with Gaia Galanos every day. She's put together a game plan. She's going to look to grind out Anaquin, take the fight to the ground, and she's looking for a submission. So great camp by Rupika, as always, well conditioned out of the House of Khan, and she's ready to go. Now, in this co-main event, Anaquin Adams has a whole lot to prove, not just to herself, but to her camp, to her fans, that she made the right decision, retiring from pro wrestling and committing full-time to mixed martial arts. After a tough loss to Krystal Knight, I know she's been chomping at the bit to get back into the cage, and she's going to do that against Rupika Khan. She really has a style that favors her in this fight. Rupika Khan likes fighting off her back, and Anaquin Adams is a wrestler with the ability, to finish a fight on top. So I think both of these fighters will be willing to take it to the ground. Neither of them, I think, are fearful of the other's strength. This is going to be interesting to see how this fight plays out. And as far as Anaquin's camp, she had a great camp. She's in amazing shape, great conditioning. I wish this was a 5-round fight, and on many other cards, this is a 5-round fight. So kudos to both of these women. I can't wait to see how this fight turns out. And Anaquin Adams is dangerous. She is very powerful. She has very powerful ground strikes on the ground. And it's going to be one hell of a fight for sure. In the main event, it's Krystal Knight versus Misty DeMeans. I had the pleasure of getting to sit in on a lot of the training sessions at Lone Wolf MMA and Highlight FC leading up to this fight. Now, Krystal Knight is in great conditioning, amazing shape. Every time we've seen her, she's performing at her best. She's in prime shape, optimal preparation. The game plans and the strategies that Lone Wolf MMA fighters have put together so far has been nothing short of impressive. They are, they do very good work over there. So heading into this fight, the experience is definitely in Krystal Knight's favor as far as being inside a GCC cage. This is going to be her 6th fight. And, she's felt defeat. She's felt victory. She's been through it all. She's been through tight spots. And I think that's definitely going to help her heading into this fight. She isn't big on trash talk, although she's been antagonized by Misty DeMeans at every turn. She's kept it classy. She's kept true to herself, true to her fans. And she's a great representative of women's MMA. She's everybody's dream fight, it seems, in the women's division. And she's going to be in for the fight of her life. And if there's one thing about Krystal Knight that I can say about that woman, is that she can rise to the occasion. When the moment is the brightest, she brings the best out. She may have not been able to capitalize yet. She may have not made the most of her opportunities just yet. But I think she's on the brink of something special. Now, that takes us to Misty DeMeans. Oh, man. Misty DeMeans is a controversial figure in MMA. But she is mighty talented. I mean, her hands, she's probably one of the best strikers I've seen in MMA. Dangerous striking, very precise, throws combinations, rattles them off, great power. And, there's no secrets about how she approaches a fight. She gets in there. She's ready to scrap. She's ready to fight. She's great on keeping the fight, where she wants it. I think Rupika Khan really showed that there's a higher level of wrestling in the GCC, and she's definitely not the only one that can put her on her back. But she's up against Krystal Knight, who is likely not to take the fight there. These are two strikers. One is proficient at Muay Thai. The other is one of the best boxers. They're going to keep this fight standing, I think, for the most part. I'll be surprised if either of them tries to take this fight to the ground. And I think there's a lot of pride on the line between the two. I think each one would like to beat the other one at their own game. Misty DeMeans is known for trash talking, getting into her opponent's head. She's tried that with Krystal Knight, but I don't think she's found as much success as she normally would against some other opponents or opponents in her past. Man, there's a lot riding on this fight. The winner's going to step into the next title fight for the featherweight GCC women's title against Gaia Galanos. I think either of these fighters moving into that fight, moving into that top spot, is bound, to turn some heads. It's great for the GCC, great for MMA, and man, women's MMA is in a great spot right now, no matter who wins on Friday night. Be sure to tune in I know this is going to be one of our most exciting shows. I can't wait to see how these fights turn out. And thanks for listening. Catch you at the next open workout session. Take care.